Hi, I'm Carl, and welcome to Larp Legion. For those who already know what Bicolline is, or who my character is, you can skip right to this time. Alright. In the summer of 2019, I attended the week-long event of Bicolline. Bicolline is a LARP/festival held in Quebec, Canada, and it is a week-long event that has been going on for 25 years. There, I played Grog Steelma, a barbarian with a heart of gold who's always down for an adventure or a good laugh with friends. He used to be a gladiator who had this prisoner necklace forged around his neck, which is where he got the name Steelma from, but also made it so that he cannot take it off without passing away in the process. So that's why you'll always see me wearing it. I was lucky enough to be able to stay with Winzod and Darius in their amazing little house they have built at Bicolline. It is located in this super cool little forest right by the new tavern, so it was a very nice area to be able to stay at and also just wake up in the morning at. But even though I was staying with them, I found myself orbiting around the campground of my guild, Darganoff Trading Company, or DTCO. We had this awesome camp with a bunch of tents, the campfire, and also our allied guild that was right by us called Deerthorn, which are an amazing group of players as well, so it was great to have them along with our guild around this campfire. Most of our time spent around the campfire was spent joking around, sword fighting, cooking, and singing some great classics from Tenacious D. So, you know, the vibes were just chef kiss. But of course, staying in your campground is not at all there is to do at Bicolline. So let's get into it. This year, I had signed up to be a part of a Trollball team. Trollball is a fantasy sport played at Bicolline, which sees two teams pitted against one another, where the goal of the game is to bring a troll head, a literal troll head, which you grab by the hair, into your opponent's barrel. The thing is, plot twist, everyone has sword. Literally everyone has sword, except maybe the referee should have swords. All the players have swords. So the point is to bring this troll head into the goal of your opponents by sword fighting your way through. If you get hit, you are out. Let me know if you Legionnaires would like to see a video going more in depth about the rules of Trollballs. I would love to do it so that when you guys go, you already know how to play the game. So let me know down in the comments below. For that week, I was playing on a team with Dwarven players, and our team name was Jamais Trois Sans Toi, which is a pun on the number 3. So all of our numbers were puns around the number 3 or just had a number 3 in them. My number was 3013, so 313, but listen, our team was a joke. We were a ragtag bunch of people just there to have fun. So we had this little gimmick where the first 2 goals of the game were jokes. So we would do like a little scene to cheer the crowd on, kind of like just a joke goal, and we would also let the other team do the same, so it kind of like at least made it so it wasn't too serious and not too competitive. But Trollball was amazing. I really recommend it to anyone who would like to add a bit more to their Bicolline experience schedule wise, but also it does take a bit of time from your week because you have scheduled games, so it's something you need to think about because you might find yourself not being able to do certain things because you have a Trollball game to go to. Or you could desert and make your team mad. Don't do it. Of course, I also took part in most of the battles that happened during that week, and I've actually uploaded some videos of certain parts of those battles. So you can go take a look if you would like to see what battles at Bicolline look like. I personally absolutely love the battle of Bicolines and the vibes that they have. It's just hundreds of fighters charging at one another. There's objectives, there's forts, there's a forest, just a bunch of arrows, monsters, artillery, siege weapons. It's crazy. And this year we even had bagpipers on the field just blaring music, so you would just be fighting and it created this really awesome soundtrack of the noise of fighting, screaming, bagpipes, bagpipes. Here is a pic of my full battle outfit at Bicolline. I'm wearing a helmet because headshots at Bicolline are a legal part of combat. Of course, not hitting people in the head as hard as you can on purpose. You'll get, well, if any referees see you do that, you will be talked to very kindly. But wearing a helmet is always a good idea because sometimes some hits can get lost. So of course, helmets are always going to be a safer bet if you're going to be in the thick of battle. If you're fighting on the edge of the battles, you'll be fine. It's more skirmishes. Those are super fun. But if you want to be in those shield lines, please wear a helmet. Please wear a helmet. Those get hectic as hell, and you could get hit on the head by accident. Well, accidentally stronger than it should have been on your head. So just be careful with that. Please wear a helmet. And actually, for next Bicolline, I'm super excited about it, commissioned a flagpole for my GoPro, which is going to be on my back. It was commissioned by Artisan d'Azur, and I'm super excited to put it to use and also to carry the banner of Bico into combat. Of course, Bicolline is not all about the fighting. A big part of it is the vibe of the world they have created there throughout the years. One of my favorite things is just waking up in the morning and walking through the streets towards the market to buy a fresh loaf of bread. The things you see by passing by the different camps, different scenes you sometimes have some people playing music. It's just something that I think you just can't find anywhere because it's really a town in itself with a community, you know, a history. So it's just to see all the buildings as you walk, just an amazing feeling to be going through, especially if you're dressed up. It's super outwardly. You can also go to the New Auberge if you have bought the meal card, which that meal card is pretty much something you can buy as a service where you can go there and they punch it for a meal. So you decide if you want the breakfast plan, the lunch plan, or the dinner plan, or all of them depending on what you decide. And when you go there, they punch it, give you your meal, and you can be on your way. What I will say though is that sometimes keeping track of time at Bico can be hard. So I may have missed a few of my meals because of that. There is also in Old Town a poutine restaurant which also makes their own smoked meat. Poutine, for those who don't know, is a meal from Quebec that consists of fries, gravy, and cheese. But you can also have their smoked meat on top, which just is so delicious and also a very awesome portion to share with friends if that's something that you want to do with your friends. There was also a man with a little stand this year that was selling smoked maple syrup salmon. It was so good. It just was so good. It felt illegal. It was just so good. So Bico may not be the biggest roleplay event you can find, but that week there was a ceremony hosted by Winzod for the Circle, which is one of the many religions at Bicolline. That ceremony saw some players rise in the ranks of the Circle, and some of those players were actually members of DTCO, so it was super cool to see that roleplay scene and just to be a part of that little moment that just was happening in the woods. So if you didn't know, you wouldn't even know what happened. But it was super cool to see, and a great roleplay on everyone and great organization by the members of the Circle.
Dogma taught by the mistakes and exploits of the past, which founded the sixth tenet of the Circle.
Life is a precious gift. We must show solidarity to ensure its protection. We must have the courage to fight for everyone's freedom and the respect for all life.
That week was also the 20th anniversary of Gaia existing. Gaia is a guild at Bicolline in which Winzod is a member, and he was kind enough to invite me to just attend their banquet, and it was so cool to see all the families that are part of the clan, saw different generations just hanging out. And they even had this butcher there that was cooking for everyone, and it was some of the tastiest meat I've ever ate. It was just so cool to see that little community that was just built in Bicolline, and to think that they've been going for 20 years, and who knows how much more they're going to create throughout the years in the future. We filled our bellies with food, alcohol, and we laughed as the sun set. And it was honestly one of the highlights of my week to be lucky enough to have been invited. So thank you very much, Gaia, for letting me attend. Definitely one of the highlights of my week for sure. Talking about Winzod, he came to me that week with a pretty special request. You see, Winzod is special. He also happens to be a were-tiger. And in the circle and Gaia, there are a few other shapeshifters. During that week, there was actually a full moon, and some of those players were gonna ascend in the circle and their lycanthropy, and they wanted to do a very cool roleplay scene. So Winzod came to me and a few others and asked us to be wild lycans, just pretty much lycans that were working under an alpha, and our plan was to kidnap these new lycans and bring them with us for our alpha so that they would be under him. So they gathered, imagine the scene, full moon, like spotlight over the plains of Bicolline, middle of the night, mind you, and our little band of lycans were hiding in the woods with little red glow stick to identify us, and our alpha was close by with a blue one. And in the distance, we saw them walking down the plain and gather in the middle, and we just had to wait for a signal. What signal, you may ask? Well, when they were doing their transformation, part of it was that they were going to be owling at the moon, and that was their signal. Signal to just barrel down the plains towards them, howling. I'm not gonna lie, I started running so fast and like kind of like bit, you know, like moving so that I look kind of like an animal. I fell, rolled, got up in the same like motion and kept running. I don't know if they saw, but it must have been pretty cool if anyone did. And they were allowed to bring some bodyguards with them to help them. So our part was just to attack them and try to steal them while we were fighting off their bodyguards and while they were being dragged away from the plane. So it was a very, very cool moment, and it was nice to be a part of a little roleplay scene like that at Bicolline. As I mentioned, not that many, but it proves that if you know where to look or know the right people, there are opportunities to roleplay at Bicolline. So don't listen to the people that say that there's no roleplay at Bico. There can be roleplay at Bico, and you can be part of it, or you can make it, who knows. I am actually thinking about potentially becoming a bit of some sort of quiz giver at Bicolline for the next event. So I'll come back to you guys with more information about that depending on what I decide. But there's a very good chance that you're going to be able to come see me if you cross paths at Bico, and I might have a little quest for you which could give you some rewards, or who knows. So keep an eye on the channel. There are much more to go on about my stories and tales of Bicolline 1019, but those will be in part 2, just to avoid this video being too long. Thank you so much for watching, Legions. It truly means the world to me. Sorry about the lack of videos. I'm trying to spread these out so that I can provide content for you guys in these trying times. But if you enjoyed it, make sure to tell me in the comments down below your favorite part of Bicolline. If you went, tell me your own favorite part of Bicolline. And make sure to share it with friends so that the next time there is a Bicolline, we can have even more people attending the event. But also so that we can have more members of the Legion. I've been Carl. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to join the Legion.
Oh, we can be clean, wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, we can be clean, wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, we can be clean, wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the
I can't help it.
chariot along, we'll roll chariot along.